What's up, YouTube? Thank you for stopping by my channel. If you're not officially a dummy yet, all you have to do is just subscribe and enjoy my channel. Today we're gonna do another reaction video. It's the afternoon. The hurricane is slowly dying down. It wasn't really that bad, more of a tropical storm. Today we're gonna react to Stefan's Let's Talk About FTX. Now I just want to give a little backstory real quick on FTX before we get started so you have an idea on why I am going to review this one, because I actually tried to review Meet Kevin's yesterday. I was expecting him to possibly do an apology. I did the whole reaction video. There was no apology at all in the whole 28 minutes that I saw at least, and the video was also boring. My reaction kind of sucked, so therefore it went into the garbage. So we're gonna try it again. But just to give you guys a backstory, so FTX is one of those crypto brokerages that is very, very popular, and it was being advertised by a lot of these financial literacy YouTubers. Stefan's, Meet Kevin, Andre Jick, Tom Nash, and the list goes on. Now, I sat down with Tom Nash, which if you haven't watched that interview yet, go ahead and check it out. I was very critical about Tom Nash initially. Him and I talked. He took accountability for a lot of his stuff, which was awesome. It was a great interview. But he and I spoke about FTX because, to me, FTX seemed somewhat shady. Very similar to Voice Digital, which was another brokerage company, which a lot of YouTubers were being paid to do these advertisements for them, just saying like, hey, this video is sponsored by Voice Digital, this video is sponsored by FTX, etc. Voice Digital ended up going bankrupt, and a lot of people who had the money in Voice Digital were not able to liquidate their account, and they lost money, thousands of dollars. Some people put their life savings into this brokerage company that ended up going bankrupt. So that put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths with like Binance and FTX and etc. But if I recall this correctly, I remember FTX actually saying they were going to buy Voice Digital. Well, me and Tom Nash were talking about it, and I remember I asked him about it. Like, isn't that like Voice Digital or whatever? And he was very confident that this is a legit brokerage. I'm telling you, when you watch the interview, he's like, no. He's like, I like they end up cutting him off. He didn't get paid anymore. I think that he just did a sponsorship for 1 month, and then they basically dropped a deal with him because nobody was signing up. But he was explaining that he does like the company. It is legit. He knows people who, I guess, worked for the company, and he's like, look it up and do a little bit of research. It's like it's like a legit company like Coinbase and Robinhood and etc. Right? And I did look into it a little bit, and I see why he saw that, why he believed that. I still looked at it with a side eye. I'm like, I don't trust it. Look, I have a little bit of money, like less than 1% of my crypto portfolio on Binance, and I'm thinking about taking it out and put it in Coinbase, because at least Coinbase is regulated. It's on a stock market exchange, so it's a little different. But these companies I've always had a weird feeling about because they're not really managed like they're supposed to. But looking into FTX, I could see why people assumed that it was a legit brokerage company that cannot go bankrupt. You had Tom Brady, you had Gisele Bündchen, you had Steph Curry, you've had BlackRock, who was an investor, SoftBank, who was an investor. So I have all these legit banks and these celebrities that were backing FTX. Not only that, it seemed like they had an endless amount of money to throw at all these YouTubers. So, again, still didn't convince me. I still looked at it with a side eye because I already feel a certain way about crypto and NFTs and etc. And it's just such a weird space. I just personally don't trust it. Look, I get hit up consistently to do advertisements for NFTs, for crypto brokerages, for these futures challenge accounts. And I always tell them the same thing. I do not advertise for crypto, NFTs, or any of these futures challenge accounts. It's like because they have such a sketchy past. Not only that, I don't even know if these companies are even real. There's companies I never even heard of. You know, I don't have E-Trade coming to me. I don't have TD Ameritrade coming to me. If they came to me, yeah, I would absolutely advertise for them. But every YouTuber was advertising FTX. And it reminded me of like the Raycon's headphones. I don't know if you remember that, but it was like a period of 2 years where everybody was pitching the Raycon headphones. And I did not buy it. Why? Because why are they pushing it so much? They're probably terrible headphones. Now, I will tell you this. If FTX came to me and Raycons came to me, I probably would actually advertise for Raycons if the headphones were good. I would get a copy of it or I would get a set of headphones. I would try them. If they were garbage, I wouldn't advertise for them. If they were good, I would advertise for them. FTX, I probably would never feel comfortable put my money in there. But here's the deal. After speaking to like Tom Nash and stuff, I'm like, man, dude, they were paying you a lot of money. And then you see these celebrities who are backing it. And then you see the banks that are backing it. I could see why he thought that it was legit. So this isn't like one of those Voyage Digitals, I would say, because Voyage Digital just seemed very scammy. FTX also scammed me, but it had that a glimmer of hope that this might be legit, right? Well, I'm gonna find out it's not. So, yeah, a lot of these YouTubers are now responsible for what they were pitching, right? It's twofold here, catch-22, and I want people to understand is love them or hate these YouTubers, right? For example, like me, Kevin, people love him and people hate him. I have, honestly, real mixed feelings about the guy. I would love to sit down and interview him because there's a lot of questions that I have for him. I'm not a hater, but I'm not a person who loves the guy either. I think he's got some shadiness to him, and I would love to sit down and talk to him. I've reached out to him multiple times. He's probably not going to ever come on. I felt the same way about Tom Nash, and that's the reason why Tom Nash came on my show. We talked about it. We squashed pretty much everything. He was very straightforward, and he was accountable for a lot of the crappy stocks that he pitched. There's so many people out there who make mistakes or ride this gravy train without realizing the pitfalls to what could happen to their audience, right? Shit happens. Now, on the other hand, there's so many celebrities out there who do commercials for fast food, unhealthy products, athletes that pitch supplements that we know are very questionable. We've had Kim Kardashian, who was part of the pump and dump cryptocurrency stuff. There's a lot of celebrities who are into this pump and dump cryptocurrency and NFTs. Now, do you actually hold them responsible, or do you hold the company responsible, right? Because this is the company that's paying these celebrities to basically advertise to their audience. That's kind of how it works. When advertisers come to you, you accept or you decline. It's kind of one of those situations, right? And unfortunately, pretty much, almost every single one of these popular YouTubers in the finance space were pitching FTX, and now they're kind of held accountable for the fact that a lot of their audience have put money into these brokerages. So, and it's not just funny because like as a YouTuber, especially at their level, they make thousands and thousands of dollars every single month, like probably six figures a month. So losing their money, having, hundreds of thousands of dollars in FTX or Voyage Digital or whatever other brokerage company, and you lose it, it's whatever, because that's not your entire fortune. But there's a lot of people who did put their entire fortune into these sketchy companies. So this was the reason why I wanted to take a moment to try to explain the whole FTX, because I want the audience to understand there's two sides to every single coin. All right, you have YouTubers out there that will obviously bash them. I totally get it, rightfully so. Look, even Coinbase is kind of sketchy and scary. So, but at least Coinbase is on the stock market. They have regulations. There's eyes on those companies, right? So, anyways, that was long-winded. I kind of just want to give you a rundown real quick, the story about FTX and what's happening. And like I said yesterday, I did a reaction video to Meet Kevin. It didn't pan out. So now it's Graham Stephan's, which, by the way, is out of all the financial literacy YouTubers who have millions of followers, he has 4.12 million. He is the least dangerous one out of all of them, I think, in my opinion, besides, pitching crypto and these crypto brokerages and NFTs and all this other stuff. He's pretty conservative with investing and giving investing advice. I listened to his podcast, like the Coffee Hour. Was it the Coffee House Hour or something? Anyways, he has a podcast. It starts with a coffee. And he's also been on Dave Ramsey. He's very, very conservative. He's very, very frugal. And he kind of pitches that where all his other friends kind of do different things, Meet Kevin went for like the crap stocks. Andre Jick went really heavy for a while in crypto and NFTs. I think I did a reaction video where he thought Bitcoin was going to go to 100K, and I think it's at 12K right now or 16K, something like that. So there's a lot of people that he's surrounded by who have very different investing styles, if you want to call it. I would just call it gambling, and he's the only one that's probably not gambling. So without further ado, let's transition and react to Graham Stephan's Let's go. All right.
So I've been waiting to talk about this since the situation seems to be changing every few minutes. But as some of you may have seen, FTX US has been a sponsor here on the channel for the majority of the year. Their international counterpart, however, FTX.com, has recently faced liquidity issues.
Wow. Okay, so their counterpart, FTX.com, is the international version. All right. You would think that would be the US version, so I'm assuming there's two separate versions. I mean, whatever. That sounds sketchy.
Disabled withdrawals, and because of that, I'm worried about the potential impact to FTX US. I think it's pretty safe to say as a result of that, I'm no longer working with them. Fortunately, as of right now...
All right, so this is what I'm curious about. Did he get fired, or did he really cut ties? Because I know there was another major YouTuber who has millions of followers as well. His name is Jeremy. His YouTube channel is... I don't really watch it, so is it like Financial Fortress or Financial Education, something like that? And I know a couple months ago he said he cut ties with FTX, but come to find out they actually just dropped him as a client, kind of like Tom Nash. Like they weren't seeing a good return, so therefore people dropped him. And he was trying to make it seem like he cut ties. No, they fired him apparently. Obviously, that's not the same case with Graham Steffens because they were still paying him up until recently. So apparently people were signing up.
FTX US maintains that they're a separate entity from FTX.com. They're fully backed one-to-one, and they're operating normally. In fact, you're still able to buy, sell, and withdraw as usual. Although with everything going on, I'm not sure how much longer that's going to last. So if you hold anything on FTX US, you could still take it out and transfer it to an external wallet or wherever else you please without any issue. Now, I really hope that I'm preemptively jumping the gun, that FTX US is fully backed as they say, that there's not going to be any issue, and everything will continue operating normally. I would love to be proven wrong, be overly cautious, and say all of this for nothing. But I'd rather be overly cautious and remind people to move their money off of the exchange, especially during a time where everything is still functioning. Of course, this just comes as a huge shock because I've always been completely transparent about everything I do here on the channel and everything involving personal finance, so I feel like I owe it to you to explain the situation and what's going on. As much as I trusted the information that I was given, I was wrong, and I'm sorry.
Hey, that's actually a genuine apology. And it's actually telling people, if you can, take your money out now. Yo,
trusted them, but in the end, their parent company was not forthcoming with all of the risks, this being one of them. This type of behavior is not something that I ever would have expected. But if FTX US is at risk, I don't want anyone to get screwed. Like I said, thankfully, all funds at FTX US are not impacted, and I pray it stays that way. I know just as much as you do at this point, so after watching everything transpire outside of the US with FTX.com, I wanted to give you my full thoughts so that you're up to date. And again, I do my best to research and vet everything that comes my way, and this one I did not see coming. I've also personally used them as an exchange because of how trusted they were in the industry. I saw that they were backed by really big investors like BlackRock, Tiger Global, and Sequoia Capital, so I didn't...
Yeah, see, the same thing. That's the reason why I looked into it, and I was like, okay, they're backed by some legitimate banks. Again, still, I gave Tom Nash like a side eye. I was like, yeah, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. Even looking it up, I did not trust this brokerage company because, again, they're 100% crypto. Anybody who has all their money in crypto or even a huge part of their fund in crypto, I would be very worried, to be honest. But that's what I'm saying, like, I know that just from following Graham Steffens for years, that the dude is very cautious of where he puts his money and stuff. I don't think he really vets all his advertising companies because, again, he's signed by an agency. I think they're all signed by the same agency, and they all got this deal with FTX. So I'm assuming the agency landed this great deal. It was like, hey, FTX, we can have all these amazing YouTubers who have amazing followers, I keep saying amazing, have a huge base of YouTubers who are watching them. They get millions of views. These guys can advertise for you, and that's probably why you've seen so many of these guys basically pitching FTX. That company agency struck an amazing deal for them. So, and if you look at it, you're like, oh, okay, they're backed by X, Y, and Z. You see they have SoftBank, they have BlackRock, and all these other companies that he just mentioned backing them. And as investors, you would believe that it's real. Now, I didn't know that there was, listen, this is a red flag right away. The fact that there's an international version and then there is an American version. Maybe that's like a crypto thing. I don't know, but FTX US and FTX.com. I just assumed it was the same. That's the same shit that Binance does. Binance has like a Binance.com and then Binance.USA. Anyways, I'm taking my money out of Binance.
I don't think this was ever a possibility of ever happening, but here we are. Everybody who watches the channel means the world to me, and I would not be here without you. So thank you so much for hearing this out, and I really hope this is all for nothing.
Yeah, well, that was it. Straightforward and an apology video. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more. Nope, it's a straight up apology video. So, hey, look, at least he did this. I don't know. I'm assuming Tom Nash is probably gonna do one. I don't know. Again, he was only doing it for like a month, from my understanding. I did not see Meet Kevin do one. I did not see Andre Jick do one yet either. Again, those are the main YouTubers I used to watch back in 2020 who were pitching this. Quite a bit every time I would, come on the video the past year or so when I would drop by. It's like, this video is sponsored by FTX. This video is sponsored by FTX. It was actually quite annoying. So I haven't seen any of their reactions. Maybe they did do one. I don't know. But what do you guys think? Do you think Graham Steffens was being genuine here? Do you think that that he really meant what he just said? Or do you think it's kind of just a way for him to try to make sure he doesn't get hit with that backlash? But regardless, if it's really true what he's saying, that Binance.us is separate from the one that's going bankrupt, I really do suggest you guys take your money out ASAP or put it in a crypto wallet. I don't know much about crypto, or transfer it to Coinbase or something. I don't know, or just stop investing in crypto. I know the price looks very enticing, but this is insane what's happening over here. There's so much scamming happening within that space that it actually just doesn't make that whole space seem legitimate. So yeah, that was it. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Did you think this was a good enough apology? Do you think he's being legit? Is your money in FTX? Can you get your money out? So until the next video, y'all, peace out.